Alright, hello, welcome back to the run across Europe. We are in France. I think it's day 4 of France. Not sure. Yeah, just along this canal. I think it's a canal. It's extremely straight. It's very wide, so some bit of engineering if they did build it. Yeah, got a nice cycle path to follow, and we are on our way to Bethune, I think is how you pronounce it. So yeah, I slept just going into the Catalan yesterday, and the French service strikes again. We're not going to believe this. So I go in, so I needed a tent, a pair of runners, waterproof spray. Just I like that to be safe with a new tent. Just give it a spray of waterproofness, and some camping gas. And this is such a small thing, I shouldn't mention it, but with everything that comes afterwards, it's just funny. So I have everything I need except the waterproof spray. I get Google Translate up and I ask someone where it is, and he brings me and he shows me this tiny little bottle that's like for your shoes. And just because the Catalan is a franchise, I know they have bigger bottles, so I just go, okay, thanks. He walks off, and then I look some more and find it myself. Again, no big deal. Just tighten that up, the GoPro. It's very windy as well, so I hope you can hear me okay. It's kind of on my back, it's going sideways to the left here, but it's a little on the back, so it's nice for making decent time. So then I bring all the stuff up to the counter, and they have self-checkout, but I wanted to pay cash, so this girl does it for me, woman I should say. And I pay for all the stuff, and I'm walking out, and I'm outside the door, and then she kind of comes running out, and she's like, looks at all the stuff, and then I was like, what? She goes, oh, it's okay, and then walks back in. I was like, what did you think it was? You know what I mean? Like, she's already gone. So I'm like, that's weird. So then I'm sorting out my stuff from my trolley in my buggy, throw out the old tent, and then I'm putting the new tent in, and I see this tag on it, and I was like, that looks like a security tag. You know, it didn't look like one I'd ever seen before, but it had the zips together. But thank God I noticed, because you know, I just threw out my tent, so if I had got to the campsite and I didn't have this, I'd be screwed. So I go back in, and my when I walked out, the receipt blew off, and I seen a receipt blown away, and I was like, nah, that's not mine. But then I see that the security tag is on the tent, and I'm like, oh, balls. Luckily, it was a windy day as well. Every day's been windy since I got. Thank God I managed to find it, even though I'd just been in there. When I went back in, the guy was asking for the receipt. So he takes that off, which again is fine. But so there's an issue with that as well. And then, yeah, it was cycle paths like this kind of till the campsite. Campsite is fine, nothing special. Then this morning, I didn't wear the shoes. I decided to just wear what I was wearing and not wear the new shoes. So then this morning, and the tent was grand when I used it, nice tent. It's very tight, like it's one person one as well. Very tight in the sides, which isn't great, but it has, I'm able to sit up in it. So it's higher than my old one, but it's skinnier. But it worked, and all happy days. And then I got to put the shoes on this morning, and when I asked for you know, when they have the display shoe, they show the left one, and you have to ask for the right. Then your man gave me the wrong shoe, completely different Asics. I didn't even notice, they look very similar. It was only when I went to put them on. So I was just fumed, because I checked in and I'd done 20 something K to this campsite. So if I have to go back, it's a marathon round trip to bring this back. So I'm trying to ring them I ring and then they answer and I'm like, sorry, you know, no parle français, parle anglais. They're like, no. I was like, s'il vous plaît, anybody speak English? And then they get this guy on, he's like, wait, and then you can hear him talk and he goes, English. And this guy comes on and then he just had enough English to be like, we don't speak English. I'm like, all right, mate, that's great, thank you. Hang up. And then I'm looking on their site for just a regular customer service, like not the actual store. They don't have a number. So I'm trying to ring the Catalan in Dublin because they speak English. Just to ask them what they think, even though there's only one in Ireland, so they probably wouldn't even know. Because what I was trying to ask them is, we're going to Bethune now to change these runners. Because I wanted to find out if I could change it a different to Catalan. So the one in Dublin won't answer. I ring like 3 or 4 times and I'm just raging now. So I asked some random French guy in the campsite to ring for me. Google translated what's going on. He rang, said yeah, they said it's okay, you can go to Bethune. So that's where we're going now to get them changed. But yeah, like it's kind of on the way. I was gonna go, like this is still the Eurovelo 5 and it was gonna snake away from Bethune, so I'll have to go like 4 kilometers into the Catalan and then back out. So it's like an 8k round trip, I think so. It could be more than that. I haven't I'll see when it asks me to turn off how far it is of a detour. But just like the French service is just crazy. So, you know, I asked a man for the other shoe and then they don't go in the back like most stores. They just have this they have it kind of there, but in a little locked thing that he opens and he finds it, he hands it to me. I didn't even copy it. And then when I went to try them on, I just tried on one shoe, so I didn't see that the 2 of them were different. Like, you know, if that was just a one-off thing, but it's just so bleeding French. It's like every country so far has its challenges, you know, like Wales had its hills, England had its poor campsites and dangerous roads, but France is just full of French people. I don't mean to be xenophobic, like the French are cool, they're real nice. Like even the campsites I'm going to, you know, if you get there and like the one a couple of days ago, there was no one at reception and like 3 or 4 people are coming out to help you, you know. They really are nice people, but when it comes to service, sacre bleu, they are awful. So yeah, that's today's journey. Yeah, and I haven't been doing a lot of miles the last few days, so I was like today, alright, we're getting moving. I want to do at least a marathon, maybe more. But that took me an hour trying to ring and try to get my shoes sorted because I didn't want to leave. Like, I didn't want to go to Bethune without knowing that I could exchange these, you know. So yeah, just like an hour trying to ring them and stuff. I also just topped myself up with €20 credit and trying to ring Ireland and stuff. That ran out. I got a message saying I'm low on balance now. So yeah, didn't get moving until like noon. But then when we get to the Catalan, it'll be nearly 30k. So I haven't even looked at where I'm going to sleep tonight. I'm just going to get this sorted and then look for the nearest campsite. So we should get in there close to 40, but it won't be 40. About 8 of that around that will be wasted, you know what I mean? But what can you do? Let's see. So yeah, I was thinking about waiting and recording close to the Bethune, give you a look at the town, but to be honest, does anybody live there? Yeah, they do. Sorry, I was just talking about that house. Yeah, to be honest, I just wanted someone to talk to. This is a long straight road, which is good for getting by, but it's kind of mentally challenging. Like, I know I get lost constantly, so you just won't have that to deal with. But one, I wanted to rant about the shoes, but two, just killing a half hour here talking to yourselves will help. See, I had a massive bit of pasta yesterday for dinner, because you know the way I've been saying I haven't eaten, and not that I haven't eaten, but I haven't had a proper dinner in 2 days. So I just had I always have a massive portion, but I just had like 400 grams of cheese in it as well, and extra tin of mackerel. That's my main dinner always, is pasta with cheese and fish. So whether tuna, mackerel, sardines, whatever. You know, you can get those tins with tomato in it. And some pesto. Red pesto is the favourite as well. I mix it up sometimes. But I don't eat a lot of vegetables at the minute. I keep meaning to get some more, and every now and again I'll get some spinach to put in the pasta, put in the bread, but it seems to be doing the job. Body hasn't broken down yet. But I ate so much yesterday that I literally couldn't move. I had to just lie down. My tent wasn't even set up, but I just had to put my sleeping mat down, and I just couldn't move for an hour and a half. I didn't mind, because normally when you're eating that much, your stomach will tell you first, here, you're eating too much. But it's like my stomach was in line with my brain being like, nah, suck it up for now, we need this, you know. Perfect day for running. It's like 20 degrees, cloudy. Yeah, it's really cool. It's another reason why I wanted to get some big miles in. I think it's back up to 28 tomorrow, and it's meant to be stormy tomorrow with rain and stuff, so we'll see how that goes. A really good time, getting close to 5-minute kilometers, and without the stopping and looking at the directions and all, just really helps. So I did say, I remember on the first day in Wales, I was saying how the game plan wasn't to do any faster than 6-minute kilometers, but that was for the first 3 weeks or so, because I had planned on getting stronger, do you know what I mean? So the plan was just how you get slow and steady, not get injured the first few weeks. Now the legs feel stronger. So yeah, really got to make the most of this flat sections. I'm out of stuff to talk about, so I think this is a good time. I never plan on this stuff, think about what I'm going to say, but I did ages ago bring up my Aphantasia and Alexithymia, and because that's what I'm raising money for is Autism Assistance Dogs. And you know, after getting diagnosed myself a few years ago, so part of the reason I wanted to do this was to raise a bit of awareness. So if you haven't seen the episode, I can't remember which one, go back to the start, guys. These are all excellent and worth watching start to finish, with a like, a comment. But what I was saying was how a year ago when I was in Vietnam, that's when I decided to do this run, because I didn't really know what I was doing with myself with my life. But one of the main reasons I went over there was to date, because I've never been in a serious relationship. Anytime I get in one, it never lasted long. I'll get back to this in a sec. Looks like a wolf. Where's what? Yeah, so when I was over there, because I you know, been aware for a few years now that I'm autistic, so I was like, I can start to work on it, you know, like because I'm aware of the issue now, I can address it, and you know, even just try and fail, like, you know, go on a few dates, and if the same issues arise, try to be more aware of it and learn from it and stuff, you know. What I found was, so again, just to recap, like, because you find out you're autistic, then you have to find out what that means, you know. So as I've said a good few times already, is when it comes to relationship, they reckon like 99% of communication is non-verbal, and that's what you have a problem with. Also the theory of mind thing, like, you don't really, not that everyone knows what's going on in another person's mind, but for neurotypical people, quote unquote normal people, they have a working theory at least, whereas the autistic person just has no idea. So, but when I got there, I was aware that I have aphantasia, which means I've no visual, I don't think visually, I've no visual images in my head. Like, I only have audio thoughts. So my thoughts are like, it's just someone talking in my head. And a lot of times it's a dialogue, like, you know. And then and Alexithymia is the one I really haven't explained yet. So that's where you're not, it doesn't mean that you don't have emotions, it's that you don't identify them, or they don't interact with yourself the way normal people do. So I think it's like I have to feel something really strongly to be sure of what I'm feeling, you know. A good quote that I heard someone say is like, there's the wind for you, I hope you can hear all this. Just let that pass. So a good quote I heard was that your thoughts don't affect your actions, it's actually your emotions. Your thoughts affect your emotions, and your emotions affect your actions. I don't know how true that is, but it sounds right. So when I got to Vietnam, I started reading books on both Aphantasia and Alexithymia. And basically what I realised is that, like, one thing I've always had a real problem with was texting. So with Aphantasia, it's a real out of sight, out of mind thing, you know. Like, if I see a person and you know, then I'll get like feelings and emotions, but if they're not there, it's like there's no image comes to mind, no feelings arise, so you don't know what actions to take, you know what I mean? So like, I've dated people that I afterwards I realised I didn't even like, you know. Like, there was one example where a place I was working, it's just a temp job, But there was a girl that was sitting next to me. She was gorgeous, and we really kind of just clicked and hit it off and were friendly. And well, I only realised afterwards how much she liked me, but I thought she liked me. But it was like the social complexity of starting something before and then having to deal with that in work, because then you have the, again, this is before I realised I was autistic, so I would always shy away from, I hope you can hear all this, I would always shy away from something happening there, because just intuitively I knew that the social complexity of that was hard, but then adding that into a workplace made it even harder. So I was just like, oh, at the Christmas party I'll, you know, make my move, and then we're nearly finished, you can go from there. But I'm at the Christmas party, and something I also realised I do is because then the nervousness of this social complexity, I basically got blackout drunk and I didn't really remember what happened. But then I woke up and I'm in bed with a different girl from work, you know. I'll get back to here. I don't know what they are, it looks like they're picking cherries. Yeah, so I wake up and there's another girl from work, and she's pretty, you know, and especially, I don't know, like, she definitely is good looking, and what I realised afterwards is, again, I wasn't very attracted to her. It's just for whatever reason, you know what I mean? She's definitely not ugly, but like, maybe it was because I had strong feelings for the other girl, you know? But then, there's no recollection of that. It's just, oh, okay, I slept with her, I have to pursue this now. You know, there's no like, my actual feelings in the moment of what I wanted never like materialized in my brain, or like whatever, into the actions that I should take. That even in that moment I should, I don't know how I would rectify that, you know what I mean? Like, obviously it'd be hard to just go to the other girl like, oh, sorry about that, but whatever. But it's just an example that comes to mind of not of not knowing what I wanted, you know what I mean? So another example that kind of deals with the aphantasia was when I was in Vietnam, and like I said, this one was aware of everything. There was a girl that I didn't really know, but she was like friends with my cousin, and I'd seen her shortly before I was going to Vietnam, a couple of months before, and she told me how she was going on holidays, you know. So I was like, give me a shout when you get there, we'll hang out, you know. And yeah, she's cute, you know, and I was like, but I was just kind of more like, we'll see what happens when you get there, you know. Like, we'll go for a drink and just, yeah, like that, see what happens. Because again, I was becoming aware of how my mind works, and I didn't really know what I wanted. I was like, sure, we'll see. So she's then texting me like beforehand, you know, like, people don't just ask directly what's the crack. She's like trying to infer information about what's going on here. Are we just mates? Is something going to happen? Whereas I just kind of decided I'll see you then. So then she did show up, and then I seen her, she was looking hot, and I was like, all right, yeah, let's, you know, go for it. But she was meeting up with long story, she was meeting up with a fella in Hanoi, and then they ended up missing their flight to Hanoi, so they went to where I was in Da Nang, and then he flew down to meet them and all. So I met her for a drink in the morning or in the afternoon, and then they were going back and he was going to show up, and it was complex. So I just straight out said to her, here, like, I'm autistic, this is a lot for me, just a lot of social complexity, you know, let's just keep it friends, and you can go off with your man, you know what I mean? But yeah, but what I realised was just how it took her actually being in my presence for me to know what I wanted, you know what I mean? And even at that moment I was like, pursue something romantic, you know. But yeah, and then it's like what I found then when I was in Vietnam trying to use the dating apps and stuff, which is, like I said, I've always been terrible with, was just like that, like, I don't know, a lot of people like to get to know someone over text. I understand that, you know, to feel like you know someone before you go meet them for a date or whatever is good, but just for me, like, it just, I don't know. You know, what I used to do when I was like a teenager, in the early 20s, I used to answer text like a maths formula. I would genuinely be like, okay, they asked this question, here's your answer, I'll ask a similar question to question A, question B, and then it'd be like, they sent 4 X's, I'll send 4 X's. You know what I mean? So it's just not, yeah, not very enjoyable for the other person, I'd say, you know. And like, plus, when I'm with someone and it has that extra complexity, you know, like I've mentioned before, the amount of non-verbal types of communication is insane. How close you stand to someone, how your tone of voice, what you say, what you don't say, eye contact, all that stuff, physical contact, you know, just like touching the arm or whatever. So not only do I have to input their information, you're aware that you should export the information to them. And it's not just normal everyday conversation, you have to let them know you're interested by the angle of your shoulders, or like, do you know what I mean? Just all this stuff that you're intuitive, you kind of figured out that you should act like, but you don't know intuitively what that should look like. So you're trying, but it's obviously just not working. So I'd say that just creeped out a lot of people, to be honest, because it's so off, you know. But anytime I then excuse me, anytime you would be on a date or even sleep with a girl, I'd be so burnt out from that I'd need days to recover. And then, like, you know, but they want to text the same day and stay in touch and keep it constant, which is fair enough. That's not unreasonable. But for me, I wanted the complete detachment and the reset and just like shut off my mind for a bit, you know. So yeah, like, the reason I like talking about this stuff is that I know that there's people out there that are like me but don't know it, you know. And like, when I was in Vietnam, as I've mentioned, I got very depressed in my like early 20s about not being able to connect with people and get in relationships and stuff, you know. But I kind of managed to get over that. Mainly was like, I wasn't the best looking teenager and stuff, and then when I was really early teens, I got like bullied for being ugly, and well, mainly because I think I was autistic, like. But then I did have like a big nose, big ears early. But I really grew into it, you know, to actually become fairly decent looking. So yeah, but my early 20s, I would just like manage to get like a one night stand enough once or twice a year, just to keep the depression at bay, you know, to give you the self-esteem and the validation. Even though like I hate one night stands now, even with that girl like Caitlin that I was saying, who kept offering me a couple of cups of tea, I don't know, I think she might have wanted like something more, but just for my own comfort I just kept it friendly. I didn't even entertain the idea because I knew I wouldn't enjoy the cup of tea then. Do you know what I mean? And even if it did, I just don't enjoy sex with a stranger, you know what I mean? I think a lot of people who aren't even autistic start to come to that realization, but I need some sort of level of comfort and familiarity. So like, you know, it's actually been a while, but I'd go on a couple of dates first before I did. I can't remember what I was saying now. yeah, a lot of people don't know that they're autistic, and even a friend of mine's dad just recently found out that he's has aphantasia. He was being seen as a psychiatrist, like they suggested it to him. Because you might hear that and just be like, how do you not know you don't have visual thoughts? You think they'd notice that straight away, but the thing about people's minds is you don't know what's going on in someone else's mind, you know. It's kind of funny, you know, the more I read about it and learn about it, the more I realise how different people's thoughts can be, you know. But even when I was, so I only heard about the term because I was reading up on autism, but it took me a while to actually like confirm it, because it's hard to explain. But I was like, you're not sure, you know, because if I close my eyes and like you say, like, think of a tree, it's like no one really appears, but I have the memory of what a tree looks like, you know. But with someone without aphantasia, apparently you can project imagery even with your eyes open. So one thing is like, just picture someone wearing a hat or something, and that will actually occupy your sight, you know, which for me I can't do. That's kind of how I figured out. Sometimes they call it the Santa Claus test, like just picture Santa Claus sitting in a chair, and if you can actually see him, then you don't have aphantasia, you know. But if you do, you can't. So I don't know, it's interesting all the same. This handlebar seems to be clicking. I don't know why. I'm moving it now, so yeah, it's moving up and down more than it was, which I really don't like for the video. Well, 32 minutes. Yeah, I was talking a good bit. So yeah, I'll have to end it there. I hope you enjoyed that. It's a bit of a straight run, but the canal is nice. They must have made it themselves. I don't see how it would be that straight without it, and if they did, that's pretty impressive. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that bit of actually getting into, because I've been meaning to do that for a while. It's something I do have trouble with opening up, but I'm in the middle of a canal here on my own basically, so yeah, I hope you found that useful. If you have any questions about aphantasia, alexithymia or autism, just leave them in the comments. I'll try to respond to all of them. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Wish me good luck in Decathlon. They better not give me any guff about these runners. Alright, au revoir.